Hi, my name is Kelvin Latte, your facilitator for this series of typography course. This typography course is designed to ground students' understanding concerning the concept of typography and then the arrangement of typography. This course is designed within 6 episodes. The first episode, we are going to look at the meaning of typography and then also the elements of typography. In the second episode, we are going to look at the serif font styles. And then in the third episode, we are going to look at the sans serif font styles. And then in the fourth episode, we'll be looking at some terminologies within typography. And then also in the fifth episode, we'll be looking at text alignment. And then in the sixth episode, which is the last episode, we'll be looking at text layout problems. So stay tuned as we take you through the concepts of typography. Typography. What is typography? Typography refers to the arrangement of text in such a way that it will be eligible or readable to readers. An example of typography includes the arrangement of text on our book covers, the arrangement of text within our books, the arrangement of text on billboards that we find on our streets, and also arrangement of text we find on posters. These are what we call typography. Now, there are so many elements that comes together to constitute typography. And then these elements also follow certain rules in their arrangements. We are just going to pick a few of them and then analyze them. One, we have a character. What is a character? A character refers to a letter, a number or a numeral or a sign or a symbol. An example includes letter A, letter Z, letter C, exclamation mark, number 2, number 6. These are called individual characters or fonts. Let us move to the next element. We have a typeface. What is a typeface? A typeface refers to the design of a type or the design of fonts. Let us type letter T and let's see. Type letter T, select Times New Roman and then type letter T. Again, select Calibri and type letter T. Again, select John Baskerville and type letter T. You realize that in all these letters you have typed, you can see that they are just one letter that you have typed, but the design of the letters are different. This is what we call typeface. They are the artistic designs. 3. A type font family or a font family. What is a font family? A font family refers to a collection of typefaces within a particular umbrella. And then lastly, we are going to look at the type style. What is a type style? A type style refers to the variations of typefaces within a family. The variations of typefaces within a family. An example of type styles includes the serif type style and then also the sans serif font type style. We also have other type styles there, but we'll be looking at serif font styles and then the sans serif type styles. Thank you very much. Be with us in the next episode. In this episode, we will be looking at the serif font styles. Now, what is a serif font style? A serif font style refers to a style that has ornamental projections at both the top and ends of the strokes. Examples of such font style include Claude Garamond, John Baskerville, and then also Times New Roman. Now let us look at the anatomies of serif font styles. Now when you are talking about anatomies, you are talking about the structure in which the font appears. We are going to illustrate these anatomies on a stave line. But first, let us look at a stave line, the stave line on which we'll be illustrating these letters on. What is the stave line? The stave line refers to 5 horizontal lines on which the anatomies of letters are structured on. They include the descending line, The descending line refers to the line upon which all letters with descenders rest on. Example is letter Y, small letter y, and then small letter q. And then also we have on the stave line the baseline. The baseline refers to the line upon which all letters, especially capital letters, they rest on. And then also we also have the mean line, and then also we also have the x height. The x height refers to the height in between the mean line and then also the baseline. We also have the cap line and then also the ascending line, where all letters with ascenders, especially small letters like letter B and then letter D, we have their ascenders touching the ascending line. Now let us take the anatomies one after the other. 1. All serif font styles have ornamental projections at both their top and ends of their letters. 2. Their small letters have ascenders and descenders, like small letter Q, small letter Y. And then also all their capital letters rest on the baseline with the apex of their letters touching the cap line. And then finally, all serif font styles have thick and then thin strokes. Thank you very much for being with us in this episode. In our next episode, we'll be looking at sans serif font styles. Thank you. In this episode, we will be looking at sans serif font styles. In our initial episode, we looked at serif font styles, where we said they are font styles that had ornamental projections at both their top and ends of the letters. So here we are going to look at sans serif font styles. The word sans means without, so meaning that they are letters without serifs. Let us look at their anatomies on the stave line. 1. All sans serif font styles do not have ornamental projections at both their top and ends of their letters. 2. All their small letters have ascenders and descenders, just like the serif font styles. 3. All their capital letters rest on the baseline and then have their apex touching the cap line. 4. We also have all their letters are made up of equal thickness in terms of strokes. Thank you very much for being with us for this episode. In our last episode, we looked at sans serif fonts, and this time we want to look at some of the terminologies in typography. We'll be looking at kerning, we'll be looking at ligature, we'll be looking at tracking or letter spacing, we'll be looking at word spacing, and then also we'll be looking at leading. Let us take them one after the other. What is kerning? Kerning refers to the adjustment of the horizontal spaces within characters, just as it is illustrated within your screen. 2. Ligature. Ligature refers to a composition of two or more letters drawn as a unit. 3. Tracking. It refers to the adjustment of spaces within a block text. That is, when we have a word like peace, we are talking about the adjustment of spaces between the letter P, E, A, C, and then E. And then we are also looking at word spacing. This refers to the adjustment of spaces within words in a sentence. So if you have Kofi is going to school, we are looking at the adjustment of spaces between Kofi is going to school. And then also we're looking at leading, which is the final one on this episode. We are talking about the adjustment of spaces between lines of text within a paragraph. So if we have a paragraph, adjusting the spaces between the lines, the first line, the second line, the third line, or the fourth line within the paragraph, it is what we call leading. Thank you very much for being with us for this episode. In our next episode, we'll be looking at text alignments. Thank you very much. In this episode, we will be looking at text alignment. They include the justified alignment, the center alignment, flash left, raj right alignment, and then also the flash right, raj left alignment. 1. Justified alignment. The placement of text or the arrangement of the lines of text in such a way that the left side of the text and then the right side of the text are all in equal length. 2. Let's look at center alignment. Now, an example of a center alignment is what we normally see in scripts. Here we have the text within the paragraph unequal at the left side and then also unequal at the right side. When someone is writing a song, you are watching YouTube and then you are having a lyrics for a song being played, you see that the left side of the text and then the right side of the text are not equal. That's what we call center alignment. Now also let us look at the third alignment, that is flash left, raj right. This is what we see normally in our books, in our exercise books or in our textbooks. Here we have the left side of our text or of the text in our books equal at length, but on our right side it is unequal at length. And then also the last one, we have the flash right, raj left. That is the opposite of what we have in our textbooks. Here, the left side of the text are not equal at length, but rather the right side, which is the ending aspect, is rather equal at length. These are what we call text alignment. Thank you very much for being with us for this episode. In our next episode, which is the last episode, we'll be looking at text layout problems. Thank you for being with us. In this episode, we'll be looking at text layout problems. In typography, we have 4 text layout problems. They include the widow, anophane, hyphenations, and then also white reverse. Let us take them one after the other. Widow. What is a widow? A widow refers to a short line that ends a paragraph. Let us take our textbooks and let us identify them. When you have a paragraph and then you see a short line that has 3 or 4 words ending that paragraph, we call that line of text a widow, and that is a text layout problem. We can use the word spacing method to solve this problem by either reducing or increasing the spaces between the words in each paragraph. 2. An orphan. This is also another text layout problem in typography. Here we have just a letter or a character or a font starting a paragraph or starting a particular page or ending a particular paragraph, or a word that is starting a particular page or it is ending a particular paragraph. Let us identify them in our books. A paragraph that has a word ending it. This is a text layout problem which shouldn't be done. It's wrong, it's an error, it's a sin. In solving this problem, we can use the keep option, which automatically keep a specified number of lines at the beginning or ending of paragraphs. 3. Hyphenations. What is an hyphenation? Hyphenation refers to short dashes that are meant to end a line of text or lines of text within a paragraph, and this normally comes as a result of short line ending the line of text. This is when this thing happens when people normally use justified alignment, whereby the left side of the text and then the right side of the text are equal at length. If you are typing in Word document and then you are using justified alignment, let us use the justified alignment in typing a paragraph. You can see that when you are typing at the last end, when you are typing the word together and then you are using the justified alignment, you see that two, you have the hyphen there, and then the together will continue on the next line. This is not a good text layout. It is called hyphenation. In solving this problem, first highlight the text in the paragraph, click on the paragraph panel and deselect hyphenate. And then lastly, we have white reverse. White reverse refers to spaces created within a line of text in a paragraph. And this also takes place when you are using hyphenations. Here, let us type a paragraph within our Word document using the justified alignment. You can see that when you type just 4 words or 5 words within a line of text, you can see that there will be some spaces, there will be wider spaces within the text just to fill up the length of the text. This is a text layout problem. We can easily avoid right reverse by either increasing or decreasing the letter spacing between the words. Thank you very much for being with us in this typography beginner series. Bye bye.